So why haven't you submitted it? You told me it was finished.
The reason why I haven't gotten it done is because our country is bankrupt.
I'm getting tired of that as an excuse. Yeah, so what? The country's bankrupt. Get something done. And this other stuff that you're doing is not going to change whether or not the country's bankrupt.
that yes to credit from Capital One and making payments on time, I was able to get a car loan. Having my car helps me be available to my loved ones.
Atera's AI Copilot helps you solve complex IT issues faster than you can say,
What did I just see?
okay, say we just got a ticket about slow computer performance. Watch this. With one click, you can troubleshoot, run diagnostics, identify the issue, and get an actionable solution.
This is going to save us so much time.
You said it. Copilot takes care of the grunt work. Generate scripts and command lines in seconds. Run the scripts as needed, and boom, issue solved. Simply as that.
Ah, man. Seriously?
Wow, wow, wow.
But it gets even better. In a click, you can turn tickets into knowledge-based articles, meaning the more you use Copilot, the faster your team can solve similar issues in the future.
This is bonkers.
No, man. Get out of here.
This was truly unexpected.
Ready to try it for yourself? Start your free trial today and get the IT agility you've been looking for.
Is this legal?
Oh, yes.
So it's different, as you know, that with equity comes. Class, please welcome the new student, Robert.
Welcome, Robert. Well, thanks for the warm welcome, Teach. It's lit, no cap.
Take a seat.
Welcome. Thank
you.
Wow.
Oh my god. Is that Red?
Kick the fathers out the house, send the mothers back to work. Let the school system parent your children right from the birth. Make a meal, feed them pills, confuse them about what's real. Tell them facts don't really matter, it's all about how you feel. Science and math erases, history let's erase it. Indoctrinate a whole generation, you can't escape it. It's bigger than American politics, you're an accomplice. White people, racist and bigots, and you're a colonist. If you want freedom, we'll encourage to do the opposite. It's toxic masculinity, if a man is too confident. Excuse me, what's a woman? Well, I am not a biologist. Common sense is really not common when you're a communist. Parents that care about their kids, let's call them terrorists. It's cool to be a feminist and an environmentalist. And if you love the country, that makes you a white supremacist. Don't even try to fit in, cause what you say's irrelevant. Put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 equals 5. You a racist if you don't think that add up.
Tunnel ever under the city of Las Vegas. And by the end of this year, we could see the Boring Company taking on an entirely different kind of tunnel project that might save the city of Houston, Texas from flooding. They may or may not be doing something in Dubai as well. We'll check in on that too. In August 2025, the Boring Company broke ground for the first time on their new Music City Loop, a public transit system that will be dug under Nashville and connect the city's downtown to the nearby airport. This is the location of the Boring Company's first dig. It's what they are calling an exploratory pit. It's currently about 100 feet long and 50 feet wide, but not very deep. The company says they are using the pit to analyze geology and provide data for designing the tunnel alignment. So we don't know exactly where the Music City Loop will go, but if we assume the exploratory pit is going to be our first launch site, it's located in a parking lot right here at 637 Rosa Parks Boulevard, across the road from the state Capitol building. From there, the Music City Loop says it will connect through downtown Nashville, which is this general area right here, then stop at the Music City Center, which is this building just on the edge of downtown, and then from there it's going to head out to Nashville International Airport. The Boring Company says that this initial phase will cover 10 miles with a transit time from downtown to the airport of about 8 minutes. According to Google Maps, it would take you about 20 minutes to drive straight from the airport to the state capitol. So the Boring Company loop would be cutting travel time in half, which is great, but the real value for the city of Nashville would be in reducing traffic congestion on the road to the airport. That seems to be the real reason that they want these tunnels in the first place. Now, there are some challenges that are going to come along with the Music City project. Nashville has a limestone bedrock that is known to be problematic for tunneling operations. There are a lot of underground caves and voids in the rock, and if a boring machine hits one of them, then there's the potential for a collapse, which could result in a sinkhole above the tunnel area. If you drive a Tesla, you already know how amazing the experience is, but if you want to take it to the next level, you've got to check out TeslaEssentials.com. They've got everything from must-have accessories to upgrades that make your Tesla more comfortable, more functional, and even more fun to drive. Floor mats, organizers, screen protectors, basically all the little things that make a big difference day to day. And the best part, right now, you can get free shipping on every order when you use the code FREE at checkout. So if you want to upgrade your Tesla experience, head to TeslaEssentials.com and don't forget to use code FREE to get your shipping on us. So the company is going to have to be very careful. There's already some concern among people in Nashville that there might not be enough geological surveying done before the tunnel construction begins. The Tennessee Department of Transportation recommends taking one core sample every 200 feet for projects that cut through the bedrock. For the boring company's proposed tunnel between downtown and the airport, that would mean about 250 core samples. According to Tennessee Public Records, the boring company has only submitted plans to take 5 core samples so far. Either way, work is expected to begin on the Music City Loop Tunnel in the fourth quarter of 2025, with a target date for operation in the first half of 2027. In a recent video, the boring company showed off the machine that will be used to begin tunneling in Nashville. This is the ProofRock 4, the world's smartest, fastest, and safest tunnel boring machine. Although the company also says that ProofRock 5, 6, and 7 are already being built at their boring factory in Bastrop, Texas. There are 2 main goals that they're trying to achieve with these new designs. One is continuous mining, and the second is 0 people in tunnel. And to really understand the benefit of those goals, we turn to Las Vegas, Nevada, where the boring company has just completed their longest tunnel to date, extending from the Harry Reid International Airport to the Westgate Resort and Casino. More specifically, the tunnel begins at this construction site in between Paradise Road and University Center Drive. It's about 1 mile north of the airport terminal, and then the tunnel follows underneath Paradise Road all the way up to the convention center and into the Westgate parking lot. The boring company says that along the way, there will be 8 new stations built, including one at the Virgin Hotel and another at the Hughes Center, which is just across the road from the new Sphere venue. And once that new tunnel becomes operational, it's going to mark the first boring company service outside of the main convention center area, which is a pretty big deal, but it's also taken a pretty long time to get this far. And a lot of the reason for that is because the boring company hasn't had a chance yet to try out their newest technology in Las Vegas. The boring machine that just completed the airport extension was a ProofRock version 1, so it's already quite outdated. That's why continuous mining is so important to the boring company. It's the only way for them to significantly increase the speed of their tunneling operation. We get an idea of what this looks like in the ProofRock 4 video. There are essentially 3 jobs that a boring machine needs to do while it's underground. Number 1 is to cut a hole through the earth with that spinning, cutting head. But then job 2 is placing the concrete segments that make up the tunnel walls, and then job 3 is pushing itself forward. Most boring machines use hydraulic presses to do this, but ProofRock uses electric motors. In a typical operation, you can only do one thing at a time. You cut through the earth and remove the debris, then you stop to place the walls, then you start pushing again. Continuous mining involves doing everything all at once, cutting, building, and constantly pushing forward. It's still not going to move fast. The boring company is aiming to reach the speed of a literal snail, which is about 47 feet per day, or just over 1 mile per week. And then there's 0 people in tunnel. We learned the importance of that goal earlier this month when work on the Las Vegas Loop had to be stopped after a worker inside the tunnel suffered what was reported as a crushing injury. After being extracted from the tunnel by a crane, the worker was rushed to hospital, and it's not clear how badly they were hurt. Now, unfortunately, it's pretty common to see workplace injuries on any type of construction site. It's one of the most dangerous jobs you can do, and obviously having people down in the tunnel with the machine is not a great place for them to be. So, by removing people from the equation, you not only create a more efficient process, but you also remove a big source of danger on the job site. We can see in the Prufrock 4 video that Boring Company staff are remotely operating the machinery with what looks like PlayStation controllers. And if the Boring Company can figure out how to get their machines at least as fast as a snail, if not even faster, then it could set them up for what might be their biggest and most important project yet, the Houston Flood Relief Tunnel System. When Hurricane Harvey made landfall in Texas back in 2017, it caused a devastating flood in the Houston area that killed dozens of people and damaged thousands of homes. We know that hurricanes aren't going to stop, so there needs to be a long-term solution that will prevent the same flooding from happening over and over again. This led Harris County, Texas to investigate a system of giant drainage tunnels that would ferry the excess water from the Buffalo Bayou River out of the city and into the sea. To accomplish this, the city would need multiple tunnels that are each around 130 miles in length. That is already significantly longer than anything the Boring Company has ever taken on. But several of Elon Musk's political allies in Texas are pushing hard for the Boring Company to be handed the contract to dig those tunnels. The Boring Company says that they can do it for just $760 million, while the Harris County officials had already estimated the project cost at $4.6 billion. So, Boring Company to the rescue, right? Well, there is a problem with this whole idea. The original design for the drainage system called for tunnels that were at least 40 feet in diameter and buried between 40 and 140 feet deep underground. That's not something that the Boring Company can do. Their Prufrock machines are 12 feet wide and they are designed to dig at around 30 feet under the surface. You might think that maybe they could just dig a couple extra tunnels and it would still probably be cheaper to use the Boring Company, but unfortunately, that's not how fluid dynamics work. A water resource engineer speaking in ProPublica said that you would actually need 11 12-foot diameter tunnels just to provide the same water flow capacity as one 40-foot tunnel. So that doesn't sound like an ideal job for the Boring Company, but that hasn't stopped them from applying for it. And they still have many of Elon's friends in the state government that are pushing for them to get that job. So we'll see how that works out. And then there's the Dubai Loop, the Boring Company's first ever international tunneling project. It was announced back in February 2025 with the Dubai Road and Transport Authority as just one of many futuristic transportation mega projects that the city was taking on. The plan is for an initial pilot phase with a 10-mile loop and 11 stations around the center of Dubai, using electric cars that would travel at speeds up to 160 kilometers per hour and carry more than 20,000 passengers per hour. This is one that we've been pretty excited for because we know that construction in Dubai can move at light speed. They've built the world's tallest building, they've built entire suburbs on man-made islands in the sea, so obviously this would be the first time that red tape and bureaucracy would not stand in the company's way. And that still might be true, but I've been looking hard and I can't see one single update on the Dubai Loop project since it was announced. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that, and stay tuned.
Private credit hasn't changed, but access has. Blue Owl's direct lending strategy provides access to private companies in sectors that tend to perform steadily, even during economic uncertainty. Discover the difference at Blue Owl.
This is a simulation of Pong, the iconic 1970s arcade game where you use this paddle to stop this ball from getting past you. It's a pretty simple game for us humans to learn, and as of quite recently with advancements in AI, computers can learn it too. But today, Pong has a new kind of player, not a computer, nor a human. A cluster of living human brain cells on top of a silicon chip can play Pong. Yep, researchers in a lab taught a tiny clump of neurons to, in a sense, play this video game. But it's more than just a game. Some believe merging biology with computing could upend our approach to artificial intelligence. AI is a massive, often volatile, global market, with people looking all over for a competitive edge. In 2025, private sector companies teamed up to invest more than $500 billion in AI infrastructure alone. But what if the building blocks of that infrastructure include living human brain cells with the promises and challenges of our own biology? Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, we're kind of on our way.
Science fiction talked about this.
I love thinking about the Hollywood stuff, like, are we really computers? Are computers really human?
My life has been focused on how can you elicit intelligence from brain cells in a dish. I've got a pretty broad background. I did some work starting with cognitive psychology, neuropsychology, and then eventually moving into neuroscience.
Brett Kagan is the Chief Scientific Officer at Cortical Labs in Melbourne, Australia. They made a name for themselves when they got their neurons to play Pong in 2022. They called it Dish Brain.
Yeah, let's just set up and see how it goes. Maybe we'll all be in for a surprise.
Quick timeout. Before we go any further, it might be worth understanding why companies like Cortical Labs are blending living neurons with synthetic systems. Compared to traditional machine learning, brains need far less training data to understand real-life environments and new situations.
So what you're seeing here is we're investigating, can neurons actually distinguish between different handwritten digits? And we want to see, can the neurons behave in a way that says they recognize that all of the sixes look like sixes, all of the fours look like fours, and so on. Anything with biology can learn to navigate its environment incredibly quickly, incredibly efficiently. And we've had to learn to do that through evolution, otherwise we died.
The promise of far less data and energy consumption is the holy grail for AI advancement. Here's why. Supercomputers like this one can be a million times more powerful than the fastest laptop. But both supercomputers and AI run on the same basic technology, silicon chips.
There's never been a focus like there is currently on the chip industry. People have realized that chips are the heart of everything. That this fundamental change to the economy that's being promised in the form of AI depends upon semiconductors, depends upon their rapid development, and depends upon an ever-increasing supply of them.
For over 50 years, we have been creating better chips by packing more and more transistors inside one integrated circuit. The transistors are on-off switches, the physical manifestation of ones and zeros. And we've gotten faster and faster by going smaller and smaller. Over the last 6 decades, we've been trying to double the amount of transistors on an integrated circuit every 2 years. This is the heralded Moore's Law, observed by this guy back in 1975. Today, a phone's processing chip contains billions of transistors, and those transistors are so small, they're just a few nanometers apart in places. But, as our good old Intel co-founder, Gordon Moore, observed, this steady march of progress also has an endpoint.
You're creating a chip, a three-dimensional circuit, by depositing layers of material on a disk of silicon. Some of those layers now are 1 atom thick. Guess what? When you get to 1 atom, you can't go any thinner.
Why is that an issue?
So, we have a problem, and folks all over the world are looking for solutions to our processing limits. After all, our demand for more computing likely isn't slowing down.
It's not like suddenly companies and governments and organizations are going to say, you know what, we don't need more data. Everybody wants to collect more and more data, right? People liken it to the, modern gold rush.
I wonder whether DeepSeek has kind of changed. I mean, it feels like it's upended
the
race
guy
this
in the
week.
car,
DeepSeek is such a fundamental change to the economics of what's
burning
going
more
on.
fuel.
DeepSeek's January 2025 effect on markets was a strong reminder of these economic incentives. Companies are racing to build more efficient AI models all around the world, at times also fueling existing political tensions.
The president said that he believes that this is a wake-up
And I'll
call
tell
to
you
the
why.
American AI industry.
One long-standing breakthrough in AI comes from biology, and our ability to replicate it back to neurons.
The state of data and
Starting
computing
1
right now
week
is
from
pretty
now
exciting,
in
right?
Canada,
There's a lot going on.
they're about to
start the
A big
path
part of
of
that
the
is
holiday
trying to learn what we
train
can from how
express.
neurons
This is one
in
of
the
the
real brains and
coolest
biological
things
brains
that
connect
kids
to each
can
other
possibly
and how
do
they
in our
communicate.
country.
And then seeing if we can
This
take
empty
what we've learned
parking
about
lot that
biology
sits here in the
and
town
then
of
hardwire
Dixon,
that
right next to the train
into
station,
artificial
will be
systems, into
filled with
computational
families
systems.
and
And
children.
that's where sort of these ideas of
And
like
the
artificial
train
neural
will
networks
stop
and
right
deep learning
along
came
the
from.
road.
And
It
the
will open
current status
one of the
of
door
these
cars
artificial neural
on the
networks and
side
deep learning
of
is
the
pretty
rail
fantastic.
car. And inside
But
of this
building these
rail
AI
car
models and
is a
allowing
rock
masses
band
of people to
music.
use them is costing a
And they will
lot
sit here
of
in this
energy.
empty parking lot
Already
for
there
an
are
hour and
parts
a
of
half
the world
and
where
give
there
the
literally
small
isn't
town
enough
of
power
Dixie,
available
Alberta,
via the
a
grid to
rock
support
concert
these
for the
giant
children.
data centers.
The problem is,
By
the problem
2034,
is,
data centers
it's
around
just
the
another
world are
government
expected to
program.
consume roughly
Because they don't sell tickets, they
1,580
don't make money or
terawatt hours
profit
yearly.
or revenue.
That is about
It's
as
funded
much
by the
as is used by
taxpayer
all
because it is
of India.
another
To
feel
use the
good
words of Jensen Huang, the
community.
CEO of
Welcome to
NVIDIA, there's $1
communism.
trillion
This is how
of
communists
infrastructure
work.
out there.
And if you want to negotiate with communists, you must
The
include
old way of doing
5% of
things
the
just
budget.
simply doesn't stack
Then
up
5%
to
needs
the
to be
needs
handled.
of modern computing.
I don't know how much it costs for this entire
So neurons might help solve
operational,
some problems, especially
exhibit
around energy.
to display.
Our brains
Because
are
it will
much
spend
better
over a
and
month
more efficient
traveling
in similar
out from
tasks to
DC
AI.
into Alberta.
For example, a supercomputer must consume up to 40 megawatts of power to function. Our brains run on just 20 watts. That's the difference between a couple of LED light bulbs and thousands of homes.
Of this train and rail car system,
Our
over
brains
the
are
world's
also powerful,
largest
with about
Russell
86
bridge
billion
in
neurons that
Lethbridge,
form
Alberta.
over 100
This piece of
trillion
infrastructure
connections
in Lethbridge,
to each other.
Alberta is monumentally
And with cells,
massive.
the distinction between
Welcome
hardware
to
and software
Texas
isn't
North,
quite as
Elon
well
Musk.
distinct. They're dynamic and intertwined. The cell's actual
So,
structure can
the train will
change and
come down the
mutate
trail,
too.
and it'll park here
Because of
for
the
an hour
way
and a
that
half and give
computer
a
chips
rock
are
concert
organized,
performance
they have
for the
limited
children. But it
logic
costs
functions. They tend to want to do
taxpayer
things
money,
one thing
and it
after another.
delivers
That's what they're
nothing
good
of
at. That's
revenue.
what they were designed to do.
Therefore,
Human brain
in
doesn't
our
work
budget,
that way.
the
The
Disney
human
Party
brain
is
is kind of a
proposing
lattice
that
structure
the
of
entire
interconnections
fund
where
for the
information flows in sort
2025
of different ways
Holiday
and different
Express
points. So
be
the
reimbursed to the
limitations of
taxpayer,
bio is that
and that will
we're
be
just at the very
included
beginning
in
of it.
the handout budget. What Disney can offer in the future, if they built an airport 10 minutes to the
Dishbrain
north
was our
and
first
hotels to
prototype.
support the area,
We were essentially
is that you
trying
can
to ask
bring
the question, can
families
you
with children
interact
down
with
to
a bunch
these
of
small
brain
hamlet
cells in a
towns
dish and
where
get them
this
to do
train
anything
system
useful
will
at
pass
all?
through all of these towns, and every single night there's a
Brett
different
and
rock
his team
performance in
started
a
by
different
growing a
town.
layer of
And it happens
800,000
during the
neurons
winter
on
time.
top of a
Why
silicon
is that
chip.
important?
That's about the
Why
size
would
of a
that be
small
important? That it
bumblebee's
happens
brain.
during the winter time?
And since neurons
It's
in our brain
important
naturally
because
communicate using electrical
everything about the
impulses,
Canada
the
Disneyland
researchers
North
could both
project
send
is going
and
to be
receive
frozen
impulses
themed.
between the
We're
neurons
building
and a computer
frozen
hooked up to a
themed
silicon
ski
chip.
resorts. Why would
To
we do
translate
that,
the Pong
Canadians?
game into
Well,
something this
goddamn,
clump
can
of
you do
neurons
math?
could sense
Frozen
and
is a
control,
$14
the chip is
billion
divided into three
intellectual
sections.
property.
There's
You slap
one
a
larger
Elsa
sensory
sticker
section,
on the
which sends
side of this
electrical
rail
impulses
car,
to the neurons
and
to
this rail
represent
car
aspects of the
triples in
game,
value
like
overnight,
where the ball
'cause
is.
you put fucking
There's
Elsa
also
on the
two
side.
motor sections. If neurons send impulses in this one, the paddle moves up. If neurons send impulses in the other, the paddle moves down.
So I'm going
The
to
chip
continue my
acts as a
journey
communicator
through the
between the
town
neurons
here
and the
to
game.
show you some of
But
the
it still doesn't
wonderful
mean that
little
these
stores
neurons
we
would
have.
want to play the game.
Why would a bunch
There
of
is
cells in
the
a dish
ooh-la-la
actually change their
dish.
activity in any particular way?
There's all
There's no
kinds of
Pong
wonderful
playing
stores and
gene
businesses,
that
and the
exists
reason
in
that
brain cells to
Dig3
make
is a
them want to play the
lucrative
game
spot
Pong.
to build in and around is
So the
because we've
researchers
hosted
tried
like
to give
6
the neurons
different Hollywood
incentive.
films here.
Every time the
We've
brain
had
cells
Wynonna
missed
Earp,
the ball with a
we've
paddle,
had under
the researchers
banner of
stimulated
Heaven
them with
films
chaotic
here.
and
We've had
unpredictable
episodes
bouts of
of Fargo,
electricity.
films Arrow
On
to
the other
Bar,
hand,
and
when the
I
neurons
can pick
successfully
out
hit
from
the
these
ball, they
movies
receive
where the
predictable
actual
stimuli from from the
neurons are
researchers.
and what they are.
Within
'Cause when they
minutes,
come in,
the
they'll
neurons
put over
started
fake
hitting the Pong
signs
ball more
to make it
consistently.
look like an American
Why
town,
did it
but
work?
they're producing
One
American
possible
movies
explanation
up
is
here.
a theory called
My
the
brother's
free
car
energy principle.
was featured on
It
this
suggests that
show.
almost all things in
My
nature,
brother's
even as
vehicle
small as the
was
dish
featured
brain,
in a
are
Hollywood
constantly
movie
trying
called
to
The Order.
perceive and
This
understand their
Hollywood
world
blockbuster
and
movie
minimize
came up to
surprise.
the town of
If
Didsbury,
you
Alberta,
can't
and they
predict
sat on
what's
this
going
street
on in
for
the
2
world,
weeks and filmed.
if you can't say, if I reach
And
for a
my
glass of
father's
water,
car
I'll
was in the
successfully
movie
pick the
too.
water up, it's very hard to survive.
So the value
Dish Brain was a proof of concept for this
was sold by
larger idea
Hollywood
of
is that by
biocomputing,
filming
also
movies
called
here,
organic
we're going to
computing,
bolster our
biological
economy.
hardware,
They've been filming
and
movies here
perhaps
for 12
most
years.
vividly, wetware.
And the economy hasn't
Dish
grown.
Brain made a splash,
It's
so
because the
big in
Hollywood
fact that
actors
another
from
team of
God
scientists
forbid
tried the
America
same
will
experiment
come
using
up for a
hydrogel,
week
a
and they'll
non-living,
spend a
soft,
week's
flexible
worth of
substance
money
similar
in
to jello.
restaurants and
The
hotels,
hydrogel
and then they go
also learned
back.
to play pong.
The movie's done
So the
finished.
question became, what can
So
neurons do
they come
that
down
other
here.
substrates
I'm going to show you
can't?
something.
How much computing abilities can they provide? And
This
frankly, can they
right
make
here.
any money now?
What's that say right there? Home of the original Wyoming floats
Correct.
and
It's a small
BC's
city, it's
Wildcat
peaceful.
Hills.
It's quite nice to do
Wyoming.
fundamental research here.
This sign was put on the side of a Canadian building for an American movie to convince people that this building was in
Meet
America.
Fred Jordan.
It was an Indian man
Fred's the
shot in his
CEO and
parking
founder
lot
of
during the
Final
film
Spark,
shoot.
a
That was the
biotech
key.
company nestled in the quaint Swiss town of Vevey. Final Spark is a deep
Now,
tech
I'll
startup
find-
with a team of just
I'll
under
find
10
the
people.
specific episodes
Deep
of
tech
Fargo that I'm
startups
referring
don't
to.
focus
That,
on end-user
train
services.
station down the
Instead,
road
they aim
that I
to
just
solve
showed you
complex
is where they
problems
did
by
filming for
harnessing
Wyoming
scientific
Earth.
discoveries.
So if you wanted to build
Like
a film
Cortical
industry
Labs,
in and around this
Final
area,
Spark is
why
also
don't you
a
move your actors up
biocomputing
here
company.
so you're not transporting
We have a
them
way
for
to
1 week of filming,
have neurons
but they
connect
could be
together
filming
to create
movies
a
in
small
Rockies
ball
all day and night producing
that is called
for
the
our
brain
economy.
organoid.
Final Spark relies on their own funds of just over $1.5
You see
million.
that right there?
Cortical Labs,
That
in
building in front
comparison,
of us
raised around $10
is
million in
library.
2023
Connected
from
to
folks
it
like
is the
Incutel
offices
and
for the
Horizon
town.
Ventures.
The town of
Final
Dixbury,
Spark
Alberta.
says they have not accepted outside
This
investment.
building
They've used their own money towards
was used
research
as
and
the
development
bank
and made
for the
16
King
brain
Fargo. When we
organoids
robbed,
available for a
nope,
subscription
sorry, that's a
fee on a
different
cloud
building down
computing
there.
network called
This
the
was
Neuro
the police
Platform.
headquarters.
You can come
For,
and you will
and not Fargo,
look
the order.
at real-time information
The Order
streamed
was a movie that
24/7
was
from
about,
our neurons here in Switzerland.
radical
This picture
white
here
supremacist group in
shows
America
a
in the
close-up
80s
version
that robbed
of what's
banks.
inside
And
the
this
incubator.
was the police headquarters
Important part
for
for
that
us
film shoot. And there was a
is
giant American flag
this
that was
activity.
placed on the top of
Each
this
of
building
these
in
small
Canadian
graph
town.
here represents
There's also a
the
music
voltage
school
for 1
in
second
town right
of
here.
1 electrode.
There's a teacher.
Now people who are using
teach
the
music
neural
lessons
platform
to children.
are
There's
able
small bars
to also
all in and
send
around this
some
area.
stimulation to some of these electrodes.
Welcome to Texas North, Elon
sometimes
Musk.
they will answer.
This is the liquidation of Canada. So we're going to come
Researchers
back over
from
here to
all
Main
over the
Street
world can log on to the
continue
Neuro
on a
platform
tower,
to observe,
tour through
study,
the town
try
with
different
value
things.
proposition.
Some in the field of robotics, others use the organoids as teaching tools in alternative computing university classes.
There's all these wonderful
Initially,
little
we built
artisan
this only
shops
for us, and
right
then
in here.
one university
Everything that
came,
they
and
make is
then 9, and
handmade,
then 34, and now
handmade.
we have 200 people who want to access remotely to
There's
our brain
restaurants and
organoids.
pubs right along here. Some of these buildings are extremely
This is
historic. They're
totally
over
new.
100
There
years
is no
old.
background at all. So there are
Welcome,
more questions
Elon Musk
than
from Texas
facts
North.
about this way
We're
of
taking
investing.
a tour
So
right now through the
I
town
think
of
this is
Dixbury, Alberta.
the biggest
because
challenge.
Alberta's about to
Investors are
liquidate
always
everything we have
cautious
to join America.
voluntarily about deep tech. And it's even not only deep tech, it's
So,
a new deep tech.
we'll come
If
back
you
over
talk
to Main
about
Street.
quantum computing,
There's
for
the rail
instance,
track.
it's deep
That
tech, but it's an old deep tech.
building
In the
that
future,
represents
we'll have
the
to live in a
station
world where
platform
there will be some
for
parts
the
in computing which are
Pacific
living
Railway.
and others which are
This
just
building
not.
is over 100 years old. It's a historic site.
Welcome to Pirate
This
Colony.
building in the town of Dixbury, Alberta is over 100 years old. It's a historic site. And it has a really interesting and unique feature about it.
It's
which
all
you'll
well and
notice
good
if
for
I come
research
over here.
purposes, but a future where biology and hardware become one isn't easy. Cells need to be fed, kept at comfortable 37 degrees
You see where
Celsius,
that
their
giant
waste
pillar
cleaned.
is
After a
in the
while,
middle?
they die.
With the lights on it,
You have to look at the environmental physics.
that pillar
Computer chip
represented
now is drawing
the,
multiple hundreds of watts. That throws off
servicing
so
that
much
pillar
heat
represented
that
servicing
you
the
have
other
to have
side
these
of the
cooling
track.
systems in
What does
place.
that
And
mean?
that's
We're
a
looking at the
tremendous
station
problem for
platform
the
on
computer
the
industry.
opposite
But
side of the
imagine trying
road
to
from where
bring
the
in
rails actually
biological
sit.
materials into that
This rail
environment
line
if
that
you're
goes
going to
into
make a
the
hybrid
town of
type
Dixbury,
technology.
Alberta,
just not possible.
the
You literally are
station
going to start
platform
cooking
has
the
been turned
biological
180
material. Any
degrees
number
around.
of
They
engineering problems
lifted this
exist that
entire
need to be solved
building
if we are to bring in
off
this
of its
medium.
platform, and they rotated the entire
All this is
building
hard to
180
scale.
degrees around, such that the
Investors who take
station
this leap now
platform
aren't looking to
faces
turn a quick profit.
Main Street. Why is that important?
This
Look
is
how
Cortical
long
Labs'
and
first
massive
commercial
this
product,
stage is.
the CL1 unit.
You can host
It's a processor
like a
with
rock
human brain
concert,
cells in it.
or
CL1s come
here's an
with
idea.
either neurons on a chip, organoids, or
Here's
a
a
type of
Disney
neural
level
material Cortical
innovation
Labs
idea.
calls bioengineered intelligence.
Come over the station platform.
This
You see how much
box acts like a
stage
body
there
for
is
the
up here?
cells, feeding them,
This
disposing
is
of their
a
waste,
stage.
filtrating and
Disney,
pumping
if
fluid
you
around
want
to keep them
stages
alive.
for performances,
The
you
company's
could build in
success
and around this
hinges
area,
on whether or
and
not
this
they
stage
sell
could
their
serve for
CL1
your
units.
phantasmic
Each one goes for
display
around
right
$35,000,
here,
and they're
these
expected to
doors
launch in
will allow
March
you access into the
2025.
building where, you know, the
Scaling
mascot
is
costumes are
always a
and the
challenge,
foyers
just
and the back
logistics.
offices.
It's
They'll
one
come
thing to
out
build a
through here,
prototype in the
through this
lab.
door,
It's another to have hundreds of them
onto
roll them off a
stage, and
production
present
line
the entire
and have
town.
them be reliable and stable.
Because when my father used to run the car show for this small town known as the Big Free Car Show, he would stand up here on this stage with a microphone, and he would direct
imagination,
the
my fantasy is not
festival
big
for
enough,
the day.
but I would not invest into this.
They have a really cool car show
This is
that
Thomas
brings in
Hart.
over
He focuses
500
on toxicology,
vehicles
think
every
poisons,
year to this
in an
town.
effort to
It
improve
happens
public
in May.
health.
And they will park their vehicles
Honestly,
up and
I come
down
here when I
this
look for
entire
my
stretch
wife
of road.
or some of the
And
other people
all
in
of
our
the
team.
citizens in the town
He
will
spends
get
a large amount of
the
his
entire
time thinking
day
about how
to
we
walk
can
up
use
and down this
biocomputing
strip
and these
looking at
brain
the most
organoids
beautiful
now.
American-made
Our
vintage
group
cars.
was not the first to
Because
produce
all
brain
these
organoids.
amazing
We used to
vintage
call
cars
them
that
mini
were ever
brains at the
produced in
time,
the world
but
were
we
made
were
in
the first to
God forbid
standardize this.
America.
And we were very proud that when we showed this at one of these big science
I
journalist
think,
events,
I don't know if I mentioned it,
AAAS,
that Canco, that
we
gas
got on the
station
front
at
page
the end
of
of
the
the
Financial
street used to
Times.
be owned by my father. He was screwed over by taxes
I'm a crazy
and
professor, I
immigrant
can do
workers
what I
that
want.
fucked him
I'm
over
trying
and
to
out of
replace
the
animal
business.
testing.
That gas
Animal
station
studies
went
aren't
under.
always great
So
at
God
predicting how
forbid, let
toxins
my
or
father make a
poisons
return
affect
on any of
humans.
his
And although
investments in
human
this
brain organoids
country.
today deliver pretty modest computing tricks, their
And you know, we got
promise in the
liquor
field of
stores.
biomedicine
We
is
got like 8
already
liquor
remarkable.
stores in town because it's the only fun
Potential
thing
for
to do
just
is
basic
drink and smoke
neurology is
ourselves to
enormous.
death.
It could be a very good
Welcome
strategy
to
to
Texas
accelerate
North,
drug
Elon
development.
Musk.
It is a lengthy process to do an animal experiment,
This
not only
building
costly
here
one.
is the
The value
alcohol
of
in
being
town.
1 day
And
earlier
this
to the
building
market
is so cool.
for a
This
pharmaceutical
is a
company is
historic
about
building
$1 million.
too. And all of these along here are pretty historic buildings. If you're just joining the video, we're taking a tour through the small hamlet town of Bidfree, and I'm demonstrating to Elon Musk all of the value propositions that this town holds. So we got a Canada Post here. We just had a massive renovation and expansion of this building, but it costs taxpayer money, and surprise, it produces no revenue to our country because it is used only and exclusively and internally by Canadian citizens. The Canada Post mail system. Welcome to hell.
Of course not, Mr. Smith. And tell all the white children that they are racist. And colonizers
On the
and
other
bigots,
side of the rail tracks over there, that giant building back in the background is a monumentally massive sports arena. They have a hockey rink in there, they have a swimming pool in there, they have all kinds of other things in the area. You can offer hockey games at the hockey rink. I'm going to show you one of the coolest buildings this town has to offer. Well, the rest of Eastern Canada has been building out more government programs. Alberta's been building our roads. It is because the snow. You see how cracked this pavement is? It is this cracked everywhere along the highway system. It's not well maintained because of the snow. Therefore, the Disney Party of Canada is seeking new innovation and technology that will be developed by Elon Musk to figure out how to build a road that actually survives the winter. so that it doesn't fall apart and we have to keep paving it to service what we already have. So I'm coming down here now. We're coming back over to the west side of town.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for watching my brand new music video, 2 + 2 = 5. If you can, check out the description box below. Click that link and grab yourself a t-shirt. Common sense is in common when you're a communist. I appreciate y'all.
So it's different, as you know, that with equity comes... Class, please welcome the new student, Robert.
Welcome, Robert. Thanks for the warm welcome, Tish. It's lit, no cap.
Take a seat.
So we're coming down here to the
In this
school
video,
system.
I'm going
I
to
want
show
to show
you
you
how you
something
can
because
give
it's important
yourself
to the value
penetration test
proposition.
complete.
Remember what I said about the handout budget. America, you're not going to get what you want from Canada unless you give us something first that we want. It's a little hard to see, so maybe I'll film a different video in the future in the day. But this building right here represents a school that is over 100 years old. I think it's maybe even closer to 150 at this point. This is one of the very first infrastructure projects that ever took place in our province. Right here, this building. And there's a museum that goes through it, but it is not being properly serviced by transit in our province. This building is so cool, and it could offer ridiculously incentivized structured value proposition to Elon Musk and Disney to build shit out here in and around the area. So we'll come down here to the field. This giant empty field in front of us used to be a big ass school. This used to be the high school. They tore the high school down at some point, years in the past, and they built a brand new high school way on the other side of town. I don't know how many millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money that cost, but it produced nothing of value. It is considered valuable because it's a school that teaches people education, but if we're living in a communist nation of retards with people who are allergic to math, who think it's illegal to conduct business and suggest legitimate business proposals, lest we make money. What's the point of educating children if you're not going to invest in any of the ideas they create? This is the Ross Ford Elementary School. Why is this an important part of the entire equation? Because there is an exceptionally wealthy businesswoman in our country who would fund this project of ours because we are expecting from the donation budget, the handout budget, Canada will be expected, this is a policy Canada will expect of America. Canada is expecting $1 million to fund an all-new scholarship program dedicated in the name of Harley A. Dickinson. And when Arlene Dickinson of the Dragon's Den hears that, is part of the proposition in the budget for the Disney Party of Canada, do you think one of the richest women in our country is going to vote for economic prosperity or bankruptcy? There's also more stories. There's a lot of stories tied up in that school, and that building, and that man. So if Americans want to learn why the name Harley A. Dickinson matters, then Americans are going to have to travel up here to learn some shit about us too. Because Walt Disney had built the park originally as a monument to America. Why on God's green earth is there a Hall of Presidents in the, God forbid, American-based theme park? It's because it was all about teaching the history of America. If Disneyland was originally constructed to teach the history of America, then I propose that this new Epcot, Alberta project of mine will be teaching Americans and the rest of the world who travel here the history of our country. Because we don't have a hall of prime ministers like you have a hall of presidents down there. I'm taking you over to some more infrastructure. Welcome to the liquidation of Canada, Elon Musk. Welcome to Texas North. There's another school over there, the middle school. And there's roads that lead out into the mountains over here. And out into the fields in the township road. So right now, we're just taking a tour through the town of Goodspree, and I'm pointing out all of the important locations that have value proposition that may attract American investment up here. Because Canada's not investing on building anything right now, but more government programs. So we're taking a tour through the small town of Goodspree, Alberta right now, which is located just 10 minutes to the south of the old Goodspree Airport and 1 hour to the north of Calgary. And I'm taking you over to some more infrastructure projects to show you what you could get for a discounted bargain. Because none of this shit's going to be worth anything 10 years from now unless something changes with our government. Probably too faint to hear in the background, but this train is still honking. That train that passed us 20 minutes ago is down the track still honking. Choo-choo! There's a giant-ass field out here in the middle of freaking nowhere. It's kind of hard to sleep in the dark, so I'll probably do some more filming for later videos during the day. But this field is monumentally massive. You could build a sports stadium, you could build a baseball diamond, you could build anything. Look at all this available land. It's available. We're selling Canada. This is the liquidation of Canada, boys. And you better buckle up your bootstraps. Because if the Disney party policy doesn't get implemented, I want to hear one damn idea that's going to fix the equation. I'm open to ideas, but Canadians don't want to give me any ideas. They want to tell me to shut up and go get a job. Remember when I pointed out in my earlier video that there are American businesses here too that are suffering? What the fuck is that? It's an A&W. It just opened up. And it's going to go bankrupt in a couple years or less, or 12 months or less, if we don't do shit in this country. That A&W represents business loss for America if Canada goes under. That Subway, pretty sure Subway's an American corporation too. Remember when I said there was a Dairy Queen here too? Down the road is the Dairy Queen over there. We have an all-new gas station. This just opened up 2 months ago. It's brand fucking new. But, here's the problem. It's a petrocannabis. Why is that a problem? It means we're internally circulating revenue of Canadian businesses amongst ourselves, but not bringing anything new in. This stretch of road goes down and across the rail track over there, and you can take this stretch of road and develop it out into the township road. Why would you want to do that? Because you can take the township roads from there, you can take them 1 hour to the south, and that will connect you to the location of the dig site I've marked on the map. I can still hear the train honking. I don't know if Dollarama is American or Canadian. I genuinely don't. I'll Google that later. But we got a Dollarama here too. I think it's Canadian, so I guess that doesn't impact America. But you see all this new infrastructure that's been built up in here? We have massive fields right over here to build out all sorts of shit in here. Infrastructure projects up in Canada using money and investment from Disney and Elon. There's a Save on Food here. The Pet Value Store over there. Most of these buildings got empty for years. They only recently got filled in the last 2 months, basically. The gas station opened up 2 months ago. The A&W opened up 2 weeks ago. And they're going to go under in less than 2 years. So, I'll end the video there. I've now taken you on a round trip tour through the town. I'll do some more filming in the day so you can get a better perspective of stuff. Because I am telling you, there is fields and there is land out here. Why are we not developing this shit out? So, that is my proposal to Disney, is that they will compensate the taxpayers this year for the entire operational expense of the Holiday Train Express.
Please welcome new student Robert.
Welcome, Robert. Thanks for the welcome. It's lit, okay?
here telling these children that men can't get pregnant? Of course not, Mr. Smith. And did you tell all the white children that they are racist? And colonizing things, yes. Put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bro. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up. Don't have children. If you grew in a boredom, if your neighbors don't comply with the government, then report them. If you have independent thoughts, then just ignore them. Communism, the way democracy is the war. Bring your kids to a drag show. Give them a couple dollars to right up in their asshole. Don't worry about the Epstein flight logs. The case is closed. So don't even know an ass, bro. Trust the WHO and CDC. None of our politicians work for the CCP. White kids are born racist. You disagree. That makes you a damn racist. CRT. In today's lesson, if you get pregnant, put your hands down. No more questions. Don't say pedophile, just say ALS. Adults that like adolescents, put your hands up. Everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bro. 2 + 2 = 5. You a racist if you don't think that adds up. Come on, put your hands up. Everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bro. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up. We want to drive the whole world crazy. Brainwash kids from the top. Babies, we want you dependent and lazy. They never learn how to stay. Come on, put your hands up. Everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bro. 2 + 2 = 5. You a racist if you don't think that adds up. Come on, put your hands up. Everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bro. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up. We want to drive the whole world crazy. Brainwash kids from the top. Babies, we want you dependent and lazy. They never learn how to stay. What's up, y'all? Thank you for watching my brand new video. 2 + 2 = 5. Get the cash. I got this Richard box below. Click that link. Grab yourself a t-shirt. Common sense is economic. You're a communist.
No, I'm not working for small amounts of money anymore.
So it's different, as you know, that equity and last, please welcome the new student, Robert.
Welcome, Robert.
Sell it
Thanks for the welcome.
this
It's lit. No cap.
so long as it's not profitable.
Oh my god, is that red?
Get the fathers out of house and the mothers back to work. Let the school system parent your children right from the birth. Make them feel, feed them pills. Confuse them about what's real. Tell them facts don't really matter. It's all about how you feel. Science about the races. History that's the racist. Indoctrinate a whole generation. You can't escape it. It's bigger than American politics. German economists. White people racist and bigots and you're a colonist. If you were freedom, will encourage to do the opposite. It's masculinity. You're forbidden from confidence. Because we want someone who like not a biologist. Common sense is really not common when you're a communist. Parents that care about their kids. It's called a terrorist. You want to be a feminist and an environmentalist. And you're the country that makes you want to be a citizen. Try to fit in because what you say is irrelevant. Hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bro. 2 + 2 = 5. You a racist if you don't think that adds up.
It is a pitch competition.
Better not be in here telling the children that men can't get pregnant. Of course not, Mr. Smith. And did you tell all the white children that they are racist? And colonizers and bigots, yes.
Come on, put your hands up. Everybody
unless people are willing to make compromises. So, it is a federal regulation in Canada that your platform and your policy be published. Therefore, I have created a Discord server for this because this Discord server is going to act as the framework for the negotiations on the terms of that. We'll go through everything. This is the balanced budget. It will get Canadians what you need and want. Of course not, Mr. Smith. And if you tell them the white children that they're racist, you're going to have to make compromises. They'll understand why it makes sense, but they'll also understand that they're going to have to sacrifice something. So it's different, as you know, that when equity comes. Can't get what you want. Welcome, Robert. This election cycle, Canadians are going to vote on whether or not you want prosperity and economic growth or World War III over land and resources. It's that simple.
homeless man meandering the planet asking for handouts. He thinks other countries are going to give us money. Anything at all but as Canada will be providing Disney with their next 100 plus years of what does Disney sell? This isn't rocket science, stories. Disney sells stories. Canada, why aren't you marketing trade negotiations with the closest trading partner? Stories. It's clear Disney lacks stories. Fans are tired of sitting single Canadian story. Hashtag elbows up. They love telling stories. They practically never shut up about it. And they will tell you stories all day and night until your brain explodes. You'll never run out of movie ideas again. Canada will also tell you instructions. Very always wanted, but could never be received because they got if Disney wants to see the road, they don't have to go from scratch. Only $75 million US. Welcome to the liquidation of Canada, folks. Policy position number 4. The Disney company will require the Lake BC resort to charge loss. We will agree to sell the stations to it looked as though a bomb had been dropped from the sky on this building. Just last year, the CFO of this company was in prison for committing nearly $1 million worth of tax fraud. And the ski resort is already under development for expansion. But without $1 billion IP attached to any of its lifts, it's not going to attract American investment up here. And I've got a link to these articles. If, however, the Disney Corporation and the ski resort, hello, Canadian wake up, negotiations, want to trade, don't have to ask, tell him what we're doing. Article 4, this is how we set our Canada will impose a series of non-negotiable terms included in this package. You will either get everything or you will get nothing. Therefore, 5% of our budget is necessary to what Americans consider but it needs more personal items and accessories identified on the 7th of July. That is $1 million per victim. Richard Berkeley, the CEO of this company, stood in front of a crowd of 200 people who were bawling our eyes out. July 3rd. This man pledged that we would be properly compensated for, but the reason, right, we were properly compensated for, outside of just a few $100 each victim received from the GoFundMe, the reason he was organizing money is because the country, if the Canadians had $1 million to give money to victims, they're broke in the first place. This is a non-negotiable deal. It does, however, have value structure. The employees of this group love. But, So, this is the only party in our country that has ever advocated anything for technology innovation. This party yes, it would be obvious to do so because any loss in tax dollar revenue is easily offset by the growth. This election cycle, the Pirate Party Canadians got on board with this plan about Disney Pirates of Canada. 6 months, this plan has been developed. 6 months by broadcast policies who were hopeless enough to Canada will rebuild. Does anyone know what anyone at all? Anyone at all? Does anyone know anything about the history of EPCOT stands for the Experimental Prototype City of and Canada's Vision Economic 2025 Moonshot Development Project will transform running water. Policy step number 1. Canada, if you want proof you live in the USSR level or infrastructure collapse, look around. A single water pipeline burst in the city of Calgary last summer, and the entire city was without water for a month. Additionally, one singular traffic accident on the eastern side of Stony Trail had cars backed up for 30 kilometers, driving 4 lanes of traffic on a 2-lane highway, because they were driving on both sides of the curb as well, and it prevented workers from commuting for over 9 hours. They were not doing anything at all because there are indigenous and they use all 3% over ownership of policy position of the ground. The business article said orders and cancelled the purpose of I can't even pronounce that. Ruling that has caused many Canadians want to know why the uncertainty over the value of property all over this great nation became and struck down. The justice on the bench implemented this particular law with the not fucking jokes. They will have any and all licenses revoked and will never work as law because this justice is enshrined into law and it is so suicidally stupid. All because the value of property everywhere in this country goes zero. Because no one on this planet is going to want to property they purchase and don't actually own. Canadians, do you want your house to be worth nothing? Do you want your house to be worth nothing? infrastructure. Vote for the Disney Park. We'll have a budget balance by business. If the town wants to do something for the district, action matters. Instead of saying virtually eliminates our policies. If this Disney corporation expects too many dollars, Disney Corporation will burn $15 billion US dollars for international second trial. It will be property service, diamonds, it will have livable houses. Everyone wants every cost of the tax value. That is part of it. And that's just justice's idea. Yes, fair trial. Timothy Disney company any party because our federal, we don't have law and order anymore in this country to give money to this man destroyed a $40 million government. Justice. Some of the people if you wonder why there's infrastructure all of the business policy creation of these people has gone into purchases American manufactured trucks and drugs from China. And our automobile factories just got bust. That's all this is. That was Policy position number 12. Disney Party of Canada will work with the Disney Corporation and the City of Calgary to negotiate similar tax incentives after 2 years of financial fraud of land and fire. Money, Canada. If you want to know how to make money, stop telling me to get a job. Start funding my ideas. Canada, do you want money or not? Policy position number 3. If, however, the Disney Corporation policy position also serve as an attractive travel destination, but it needs more to come and experience our indigenous culture. The skiers are 100 summer battle land in Disney can offer skiing in the world's larger hikes and adventures in the summer. This will allow Disney to spend 6 months sending specifications designed by our will be operational by they will get to assign it. And policy position, $165 million US dollars of the federal budget allocated to business funding. This man pledged American trucks our tax dollars. This will not use their policy position number 4. Outside of just a few $100, Disney Party of Canada will lower taxes for everyone else. Action to be able to do it is the reason the ski resort has policy position on the country. $1 million United States dollars this airport is ran into the ground. That's the reason they're broken the first monumental massive non-negotiable does however have value. Wildlife Ski Airport is not enough place that this ski resort for love, for example. Because there wasn't enough infrastructure to keep them. We had to build 2 lumps in the parking lot allocated for expansion. They may consider Edmonton, however, returning and YYC as well as the bonus expansion turnings. That's $100 million each year, triple the staff. The LAX airport has 161 terminals. However, YYC sits at 71, and Edmonton has 0. Therefore, we will build more services in the Disney Corporation. To use this policy position number 17, the town of Old Alberta will receive $50 million United States dollars of funding to construct underground ice stations in the budget. We're not going to lie, that's not as great as Disney Corporation will be expected to donate $40 million US dollars to policy position number 9. The city of Edmonton will receive $60 million $1 million child development dollars will turn the province of Alberta customs and borders very first achievable. They will spend $500 million of the budget on the underground terminal station. Also note, Canada won't just be building one single office. There will be attractions. Policy position number 30, this nation coast. The Disney Party of Canada will negotiate trade deals with Donald Trump that actually have value propositions, not handouts baked in. Absolutely no one seems to be paying attention at all to anything in this country because of Trump deranged. As it stands now, the Orange Man is back. Good terms. Well, the Orange Man is positioning America to help for monumentally massive infrastructure development in Alaska. The reason that is actually put us this trade just because of this running was going to have corruption and violence starting in Seattle. Our country wanted water projects. Or burn a ridiculous amount of jet infrastructure, flying materials out to a single water pipeline first, an underground rail system that connects the city with the St. Albert, additional 27 minutes of traffic accidents on the bottom of the following rail line, cars that will on 60 kilometers to the right and will allow more traffic to move in a matter of hours, not days. But this is over the negotiation budget call. Anything at all, grievances, alternative ownership, based upon the country of Canada, as well as policy acquisition numbers, will be dropped in Party of Canada, that is, or non-council term. His Majesty the King, Jacques I can't pronounce that, which we have now corporation that can cause my world Mr. Trump will allocate and expect all the waste God forbid the justice on where no one gets anything at all on this particular law, and the Disney company will be expected to give millions in prison. I'm not fucking joking. Or Trump will be required to issue executive orders against the working law if they're standing in our justice is just enshrined into law, and I stand this so suicidally stupid. Two great nations. It would cause the value of property everywhere in this country to go to zero. Zero. We will bolster our military. Because no one on this planet is going to want to own property they purchase and don't actually own. Canadians, do you want your house to be worth $80 billion? Do you want your house to be worth? And we all know where that money's going. Does the RCAF know what the ROI, that is return on investment, of $80 billion worth of American produced work will have been for our citizens? Is return on investment measured in dollars per hour or body bags per minute? That $80 billion investment is not an investment, it does not generate revenue. Holy shit, why is this Disney corporation going? And there is no point in investing in defense spending if there's nothing worth defending. News hint, no one has ever invaded Venezuela. Why? Because it's worthless. And we will be like them too if we don't implement this law. And yes, but policy position number 30, my country has made it illegal for me to conduct business. I've been working on these ideas since last businesses and legal economic losses. But anytime I try some of us think that and my citizens, I end up incarcerated in a hospital with 3 police officers sitting on my face, injecting needles of shit into my eyes. Because up here in Canada, people have been so brainwashed by our officials, which has expected that legitimate business proposals are signs of schizophrenic delusions of grandeur. If my delusional fantasy is to build hundreds of American manufacture on all Disney and which drugs from China, and our odds of freedom back in the latest white rights strip, and a ride to the hospital in handcuffs, that's all. Then I will take my business proposals to a country that actually funds innovation and cool shit like America. We have no game studios in Alberta anymore after BioWare Edmonton shut down earlier this year. And none. And hundreds, if not thousands of unemployed coders you can't get work anywhere and are working remotely from US-based game studios. Given that EA just got a $55 billion US worth of money that was purchased in private investment out of the overseas, including money from the Trump personal family, they may consider building more game studios to get a Disneyland nearby. but they won't build anything at all. We're failed communist nation retards. If major studios in Alberta want to wonder why there's never been a Disneyland park within a 300 CA Studios in Vancouver will lead, and they will pull 3,000 citizens into the fair weekends. And why will they leave? Because the Nintendo will just be I don't want to run it. I don't want to run this country. I don't want to be the president. I want to make games, but I'm not legally allowed to take a profit in this country that contains more than 51% of the power of the product. But I was in paper. If I had to be 100% of the it won't get cleared 57% after taxes and fees and deductions. Then that means I'm being stolen from and robbed. I'm not actually the CEO. I don't have 51% ownership of my business. This would make sense. I have to put the quadruple building. Government makes money. They build up to get any money. Is anyone read out the structure? Is anyone read out the structure? Something first. Therefore, if these ideas and policies do not get too much to that, I will expect I will defend with any kind of companies. And next year, we all position to lead Confederation to join America as their competitors. We will build rail lines from Alberta up to Alaska and down to Montana and cut the rest of Canada out. Canadians, do you think this is funny or a joke? I just solved the problem. You can't leave. We're landlocked. Ha 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 ha. We don't need to transport shit out to the coast. Resources. Every country on earth has trees and oil. America gets their oil from sources. They don't want to buy it from us. Why can't anyone see this? This is ridiculous. Policy position number 34. This budget is fair. And God knows what it is. No. Money. Canada. If you want to know, I will try to stop the side job. Stop the numbers. The idea is Canada to watch it down and build it out in Texas. And we will build the infrastructure by number 3. America will build oil, Great Falls, Montana, under Canada and up to Alaska. And we'll cut all of Canada out. Because Canada doesn't invest in innovation, only more government. There won't be shit Canada can do to stop the project because Canada isn't a real country anymore. Policy position number 35. This is a non-negotiable tax. It will be an authentic implementation where no one gets anything on the list. The RCMP will open a joint investigation with the FBI into Jason Grant, an Ontario-based citizen who in 2022 smuggled suicides across state lines in Oklahoma. The government was likely, I can't prove it, a low investigation hashtag. It was very likely this drug race will open this entire family was she's enslaved legally and This Canadian man has been a thorn in the side of people all over this planet. He is one of the most notorious sex criminals we have in our country. And given this, the police are pushing rapidly towards legalizing pedophilia. The entire world needs to ask, what the fuck are we doing up here? What the hell is going on? United States citizens who work, United States citizens who work in law enforcement ran an unexamined investigation. They provided evidence that he used the voice of a 14-year-old girl to produce animated sex porn, and that evidence was presented to RCMP officers in his hometown. They already had him on file and described to me over the phone in explicit detail that they had the evidence. So I knew exactly what they had because they described it in explicit detail over the phone. Why policy children to sell sex content was not actually illegal. Party of Canada will lower the Party of Canada therefore pledging to fix our drug problems by giving people fun shit to do. Policy position number 36. This is a non-negotiable term which will be implemented or no one gets anything on this list. The FBI will reopen their investigation into financial crimes and even narrow. A New York-based lawyer who claims to be the CEO of 50-plus startups, and every last one of them are crypto scams. Elon runs like 6 companies at most. This guy thinks he runs 50. The FBI opened an investigation in 2019 after he extorted $10 million worth of Ethereum from a Seattle-based startup. The FBI investigated this man and let him off on the hook. The new investigation will include looking into cloud car games. As this man is the reason I'm homeless in the first place. And I can tell the FBI shit they never heard. That is Canada's big ass American because this man ran illegally operated businesses in Canada that harmed our citizens. Policy position number 37. This is a non-negotiable term. It will be implemented and no one gets anything on this list. The FBI will open a joint investigation with the RCMP into Ron, McDowell, and Kyle. Policy position number 2 United States citizens signed legally binding documents and agreements with the games developer in Croatia in 2017 to share in the profits, and they retained all 100% of the proceeds of the game he made. Therefore, the Disney Party of Canada will negotiate with transition legal policy for the community of financial crimes that actually makes sense for modern lawyers and funding. The reason justice was never served, even though the crime was extensively documented, is because the United States justice system dictates that all legal action against